Guys, Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends with another champion guide. I have a full-fledged guide going out really in-depth on my main channel in a few days on this champion. I'm more well-edited and showing different builds, but I really want to talk about a uncommon champion, Zephyr Sniper, to you guys. And I wanted to show you specifically a spider build for her, and then I'll show a control build again on the main channel in a few days. A few reasons I'm not doing that is because, well, it's a little bit of a surprise. So, well, but either way, guys, we'll talk about it. Obviously, running this champion, well, let's look at the champion first. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here. Ash, first of all, welcome to the channel, guys. Hopefully it finds you all doing well. I'm glad to have you guys with me today. If we go to the barbarians and we go all the way down to the uncommon section, not a section we traverse very often here on the channel, we will take a look at Spirit Affinity Uncommon Barbarian Zephyr Sniper. Now, let me just start by saying the coolest part about this champion is she gets very valuable with books, believe it or not. Bring this from a 15 to a 30 is fantastic in terms of control when using this champion in a stun set or against any waves anywhere in the game. Random skill cooldown increase by 1 turn actually has more value and procs way more often on these AoE attacks than you might think, and it's hard to actually notice the tangible value because it's not like you're seeing all the enemies and what skills are going on cooldown, but it's a really nice to have on top of obviously running her as a stunner in a stun set with fearsome presence. Anyway, Zephyr Sniper is a defense-based champion who you don't need to book. Don't use your rare books on any uncommon champion in the game. Instead, just pull mystery shards. There's not that many uncommon champions, so you're going to get a bunch of dupes, and eventually you'll be able to book her out just using dupes from mystery shards, which this game throws a lot at you anyway, right? So that's the good news on this champion as well. She's fast, 100 base speed with 1244 on the defense is really solid for an uncommon champion. She also bringing the weak version of continuous heal on all allies for 2 turns on a 4-turn cooldown when you book her out. So there she is. She looks pretty aesthetically. She looks nice for an uncommon champion. You know, she's doing her job, man. Just doing her thing over here. Let me go ahead, and she doesn't even look like a barbarian though. She looks more like a high elf to me or something. Well, I guess so. I don't know. Anyway, super cool. So what I wanted to do is talk about how to build her for Spider in today's video, okay? Because she's one of the best Spider tanks in the early game of all Raid Shadow Legends. I'm talking about, you know, using her to stage like 20, right? In that area where you can just pair her with some cold hearts. You don't even need reset champions. You don't need to worry about burners and stuff like that. And so let me go, guys, show you the build really quickly here. And let's talk about her. So because I have my Great Hall maxed, I decided not to put any ring or amulet on her in this build, just to make it a little bit more realistic for you guys. And I will tell you, her defense is a little bit high. I know that's crazy to say, but we're really shooting for 2,500 or lower on the defense for one simple reason. We really want to take advantage of those retribution procs, and if she's too tanky, she's not going to be able to counterattack. And if she's not going to be able to counterattack, she might lose too much health and not be able to recoup because she has lifesteal gear on. We'll talk about that and kind of demonstrate that. But either way, the number one and 2 priority on this champion for Spider, 3 I guess, is going to be 1, resistance. Right? Number 2, it's not imperative to have resistance. If you have the perfect stats, which are again around 2,500, around 2,200 to around 2,400, I think is a sweet spot on defense. Even lower, you can get by fine. But the HP needs to be low too. You need to have her the lowest HP or a negative affinity for her to be targeted by the spider. But if we have our resistance high enough, it's going to be able to cover up a bunch of those threshold weaknesses if we don't have them all exactly precise, because she's going to be resisting all those poisons. Ergo, she won't be taking a ton of damage. Ergo, well, she'll stay alive easier, right? Without that poison damage. So we do want her at 100% crit rate because again, that lifesteal proc is going to be healed by 30% of the damage dealt, okay? So we have 2 choices when we talk about Masteries. This is a stun build, guys. I'm just going to redo it with you right now because it's free anyway, right? If we're going to be doing a Spider build, I want to go with more resistance. I'll probably come down here and go, well, I'm actually going to go Rejuvenation, and then come down to Resurgent, a chance of removing some of those poisons, right? We're going to come down here to Delay Death. we are going to come down to Retribution, 50% chance to counterattack when this champion loses 25% of their max HP from a single enemy skill. And then we're going to come down to Unshakable and pick up that 50 resistance. Now, another route to go would be coming down Deadly Precision, coming in, grabbing crit damage, hugging, actually probably picking up Life Drinker as well. Heals by 5% of the damage inflicted when attacking with 50% HP or less. That's going to be an important one as well. And then we would just come down. I'm just going to kind of pick up anything here towards the bottom. I will say that Methodical increase the damage inflicted by this champion's default skill by 2% each time it's used, up to 10%. That's going to be that AoE attack, so it's nice to grab as well. And then the rest of the Masteries we can kind of just fill out here. She's not going to be placing any of that. Let's just go super basic here on this stuff. Let's go Bloodthirst. The more heals, generally speaking, the better. I'm going to go with Blastproof, damage mitigation from AoE attacks, and then we will go with Deterrence. Not going to help her out, obviously, in Spider, but it can help out in other areas of the game. So let me just push over. You can see the entire Masteries that we ended up going with on this Spider tank build. And here we are. In terms of the artifacts, we went Resistance on the banner, and we went Resistance on the chest. You might be saying, dude, that's a lot of resist, and where am I going to get my HP, my survivability, especially because we went crit rate on the gauntlets? Well, again, my point is we don't need a ton of HP. We don't want a ton of HP, and we don't need a ton of defense either. We're going to be healing up because of just the lifesteal gear. Did I mention, too? I should mention, if you're able to get around 350 for Spider 20 resist, or even a little bit higher, you'll see here with 400, I don't think we're ever going to take a poison. With 350, you might take an occasional poison or two, right? But if you're able to get there just through substats and stuff like that, you can go War Master. You'll actually get more healing off of that A1 ability, right? That will really help you out as well to stay alive. So there's a few different ways you can build her. Anyway, I showed you the crit rate, resist, speed on the boots. In terms of stat priorities, we want to have her as fast as possible with as much resist as we can get on her. All right, let's go ahead and show you a quick Spider run. All right, guys, so let's start in Spider 20, but again, you can use this. I'll show you Spider 20 and I'll show you Spider 19. Attack in dungeons. Yeah, this is fine. This team is cool. The whole idea behind a team like this is, if I didn't have 2 Cold Hearts, by the way, I would run like a Syl of the Drakes. Another healer, a Reliquary Tender, would be very helpful, because here's how this team goes, right? We go with a debuffer, right? We come in here with, I guess we can just A1 on this. We come in here with our enemy max HP champions. In this case, it's going to be Cold Heart. It's going to be a Royal Guard. But again, even if it ended there, it's fine, right? The more the merrier. But we have no reset champion. We don't have Kaimars. We don't have a Yumeko on this team. So now what do? We have to stay alive. This is where all the Spirelings just keep attacking Zephyr Sniper, right? And all the while, she's going to keep healing herself up. Now, right now, I have a shield on Stagnite, so she's surviving mainly on that shield. But you're going to see it's going to take us quite a few turns here, right? That counterattack Retribution, that's why we don't have her defense super high. So she can get those counterattacks and heal herself right back up, right? But all the Spiderlings are attacking her. She's counterattacking. She's healing herself up all the while. And basically, the rest of the squad here, we're just waiting for their abilities to cycle, right? I'm going to go ahead and use the A just to make sure that we're topped off here. I guess we shouldn't have used the A2 there. We could have just used the A1 and healed off that anyway, but it's okay. So we're 2 turns away on our Cold Hearts. Going to go ahead and refresh the debuffs there. Going to come in A1, heal right back up to full. Beautiful. Resisting all the poisons. So if we weren't resisting the poison, she'd be taking a heck of a lot more damage here, obviously. But with the resist, we don't have to worry about it, right? Here we go. Royal Guard stomps on him. Let's get a Retribution. Come on. Anybody, please. The good news is she's going to take a turn and heal herself up. We're 1 turn away from Cold Hearts going again as well. And that is so if I had say like a Syl, she does die there. But if I had a Syl of the Drakes, it doesn't matter because both Cold Hearts have their A3 finally off cooldown. If I had a Reliquary Tender, if I had a little bit of healage there, she wouldn't have died, obviously, or if she'd gotten 1 Retribution, she wouldn't have died. The whole idea around this team, too, is it's a little bit more, I mean, it's a little bit RNG based, right? If she's not getting those counterattacks, she might die, like what just happened. And I could easily sit here and redo the fight and make sure she didn't die, but I think it's realistic. But the whole idea here is this could be a great team on your Arbiter missions for the first time that you're trying to clear these dungeons that can be very difficult. Spider 20 can be very difficult. I know it is for me on my free-to-play account. I'm going to use the same exact team, the same exact strategy. We're going to be going against Force Affinity this time, right? She's a strong affinity matchup here, so let's see if she is targeted on 19 with the low HP, but a strong affinity matchup. All right. Now, keep in mind, Royal Guard is a weak affinity matchup here. So we do the same start, and this time Royal Guard's getting targeted. So she is not going to work on Spider 19 with this particular team, seeing as how there are other weak matchup champions. So that's a bummer. We might be able to get the job done anyway, but let's just go to, I want to try her as a weak affinity matchup and see how that works as well. So let's try that. So stage 19, I would say being a strong affinity, it's a little risky. Let's go stage 18, right? Enemy max HP team, and now she's a weak affinity matchup. I think that a lot of people have problems with stage 18, 19, and 20, especially as brand new players in the game. So let's go in here, debuff. It'd be interesting if we raised the HP on Royal Guard or lowered hers a little bit, if she would win back aggro. So you guys can experiment on stuff like that as well on your own time. So we come in here again, we do the same thing to open things up. And then again, we're going to resist everything, and we will get targeted because, again, it's going in Magic Affinity, and we have a weak matchup. So it's the same type of strategy. So for 18, 20, basically any spider level that you want, that she's either a negative affinity or that she's, or I should say it this way, any spider that is not Magic Affinity, excuse me, not Force Affinity, you could run her as a tank, right? And again, she's going to counterattack. That's what we want more of. More counterattacks and more spiderlings, please. Another way to build her, too, might be, you can see, boom, healing right back up. Counterattack, there we go. There we go. It's all about getting those cooldowns down on our max HP nukers. And she's going to keep eating the aggro, right? And again, if I didn't have another Cold Heart, it might even be more reliable to run a team like this with a Reliquary Tender, a Scylla Drake, so we can pick her right back up, right? So let's come in here, do some damage, get a nice heal. Heck yeah, let's get some retributions, please. And it doesn't matter, we're gonna kill that spider again. And again, she dies right at the end, but Cold Heart number 2 is gonna go and blast. Oh, she's one turn away? It's okay. We're gonna get it done. We're going to get it done. So guys, there you go. Zephyr Sniper is not only a great control champion, but she's a tremendous spider tank. I'm just kind of discovering the magic of Zephyr Sniper in terms of being a viable uncommon champion. If you're anything like me, I love when uncommons can serve some utility, some viability in this game, and Zephyr Sniper is definitely one of those use cases. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I'll see you later on today, maybe tomorrow, with another Raid Shadow Legends Champion guide, and as always, take care, guys.